Hello and welcome to the 2023 Portland Open presented by Latitude 64. This is the back nine of our round one feature card for FPO. Stop number 7 of the Disc Golf Pro Tour. I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
And I'm Rebecca Cox.
Oh boy. Can't wait to see what names you guys have come up with. I think Reberica is like our plan B. Not great, but not
if you can do better than Reberica,
we can do better.
We're open to it.
We can do better. We are at Glendavere Golf Course. We have 2 courses this year. We are on the west course the first 2 days, then the east course, then there's a cut. We are watching Kristin, Tattar, Owen Scoggins, Paige Pierce, Ella Hansen. So far, Hannah Wynn has been pretty in control. We have listened and adjusted the leaderboard for round 1, so you're just seeing scores through each hole, so everyone's at 9. No spoilers. Here we go. Hole 10 is a par 4, 584 feet. There's a mandatory on the left. It's a bit of a tight line. I can't think of an optimal landing zone to give you a perfect look at this basket. The second shot I think is really difficult, and there's the OB line on the right side you also need to take into consideration. I think it's hard to park this one for sure.
Yeah, you're worried about that Mando on the left because, not about missing it, but about putting yourself in a position where it's not pinching off your upshot.
Yeah, it's definitely easy to fade too far to the left. Kind of like this maybe is starting to do.
It might push forward enough.
Paige will have something there. But I don't know, you kind of want to almost be more towards that OB line on the right to open up that second shot a bit. But can you think of like any specific landing zone that has a great gap?
Not one that has a great gap.
Yeah, they're all kind of just small
gaps. You have to
gaps.
push it up so far forward.
Yeah.
And you're throwing it uphill with the low ceiling. It's hard to push something high enough and forward enough.
Yeah, Kristin does a really great job of getting a little bit more forward than the rest of her card mates with the Grand Orbit Drive. Everyone else in a pretty typical landing zone. Owen catches that high ceiling, it drops down early.
Ella going around those trees up there, giving herself a long look for the birdie.
Yeah, I like the ground play. A little bit shorter grass here on this hillside. Warming up a little bit, drying out.
Kristin looks like she has the left side open.
Yeah, wide open.
Goodness, she must have gotten a lot of distance on that drive.
She really did. It was just so low and straight. Comes up short, though, on the upshot.
She might have a window. Kind of surprised Paige didn't go for the backhand right there. Although I can kind of understand how it's still pinched off.
I like seeing a couple more forehands from Paige so far this tournament.
Scoggins from out of nowhere.
Yeah, yep. I'd imagine this plate is one of the more difficult holes on the course, just because it's so hard to birdie. We're seeing some of the farthest throwers here, and no one has a great look at it. Paige in a wide straddle, looking like a bit of a hyzer putt. Oh, great run for birdie. Dang. Ella from maybe 38 feet or so. Little stepper. Right side miss.
Yeah, another hole where you're not really worried about missing the birdie.
No, par's fine. Definitely a bonus. Owen tapping in a par.
Yeah, the only birdie that we saw on this hole is from Maria Oliva.
Absolute bonus.
Yeah, and she's a crusher, so
second
would love
hole
to see that
of the day that's only had one birdie.
Yeah,
because Ella had the only one on 6. Kind of crazy. This course is kind of hard.
Full send.
Yeah, a lot of facial expressions too. I love the close up. Oh, Rebecca Cox. All right.
Yeah, all these scores are so tight.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
All right, hole 11. Yes, that is another double Mando that you see. We're throwing right off the bat from the tee pad. Very tight. Baskets right in between these little trees here. And, the distance, I think a lot of people on this card can reach, but it's more about being able to push something without getting it too high, because those branches it just take everything out of it.
Well, and it's a little downhill, so you can't just throw straight. You have to throw a little down. On with the destroyer.
I love that shape.
Yeah, that was like a little straighter than we often see Owen throw. She loves it. Look at her go. Pretty good Thursday gallery out here too. Love it, Portland. Paige with a passion. Laser beam. It's so hard to get past these last guardian trees though.
Yeah, it's pretty much all wide open on the left side.
There is a line if you do a tight turn to the right. If you kind of turn right where, it's hard to explain because they're all just trees, but it's like a late turn and then it's kind of wide open over there. But I do think the most common play is just kind of a laser straight at it. Kristin looks like she'll have a putt.
All these ladies seem to be putting a lot of hyzer on it, and it seems to be drifting left. You kind of want it to flip up more towards the right.
That's what I think too.
It's a hard gap to hit, though.
Well, it's more like a hard 40 different gaps to hit. It's a tunnel all the way down. Ella leaving it pretty short there.
She's been a little off, just a little bit.
Yeah, often those touchier shots, it seems like. Paige, long look for birdie. She'll have a bit of a comebacker for par. Own to get under par. She's just outside the circle. Ooh, man, second band hit today.
Soft bid.
No one converting on our feature card here. Dang, that looked like a great run.
Really good.
A little bit more confident than some of the other putts we've seen. Just Ella hits the band. Only 3 people got this one today, it looks like. Cat Merch, Madison Walker, and Shelby Dutton, who I don't know. Congratulations.
Yeah,
it's great
good
birdie.
job.
Kristin, the only one under par still on our feature card.
Yeah, I think even being par through this part of the course is pretty good.
Yeah, par is going to be pretty good. We know it's a little boring, people. We know. We're trying. 2 downs, holding strong in the lead. Huge tie, though, at 2 and 1. Hole 12 is another par 3, 380 feet. I think the drone took a pretty good flight here, turning it out to the right a little bit and then trying to fade back into this tree line. This one, it does have a mandatory as well. It's just another one that's pretty tough to get all the way there and kind of at the max range of a lot of FPO distance. This one is slightly back uphill as well. This is a cool line I haven't really seen. It is wide open, but I mean, that takes a ton of power to do what Owen just did. She's still
She keeps giving
gonna be
herself
like
long looks at
60
it.
feet. Yeah, I'm waiting for her to cash one. She's usually good for one, at least from distance.
Another shot low out of Paige's hand.
Yeah, it's like the third one we've seen. Really low, not a typical miss from Paige. Kristin with a pretty looking shot here. That's her signature orbit grace.
Oh, incredible.
Yeah, you can't draw it up better than that.
Yeah, she hit that turnover line just perfect. Let it air out.
Yeah, such a gentle turnover, too. And you still need a lot of fade. That was gorgeous. Ella looked like an early release, potentially, or just not flipping that PD up enough. But she's nearly pin high, it looks like.
Yeah, this is one of the holes that's a little harder to scramble.
This is interesting.
That is very interesting.
Paige going forehand roller. I think that green one is a Raptor, Z Raptor, yeah.
There is an OB line right there on the right side of the fairway, but it looks like she curled back in. That's very interesting.
I mean, Paige has been throwing a ton of forehand rollers out from the woods and looking really confident, but just surprising because it's maybe not wide
like she
open.
had a stance.
But it seemed like she, could have done something different, but I always love a good roller. Long comebacker for Paige. It's got to be nearly 60 feet. Yeah, not happy with that effort. Own for the birdie.
Come on.
Dang, she's so close. Come on, Own.
Kristin with a beautiful birdie.
Fantastic. Gets herself to 2 down. Dang.
Oh, she was even surprised by that.
Yeah, you could tell she was a little shocked.
Yeah, this is definitely a bonus birdie. There's only 2 birdies on the day from Kristin Tattar and Sayananda.
Good one.
Sai was crushing it all day today.
She's been doing well this year for sure. Ella with the par. Paige and Own the bogeys there. Kristin, though, highlight birdie.
But
Kristin finding herself in that tie for first now.
Boys down here, just finished checking out the your hat, and everything is A-okay.
Hey, Jonathan, catch. Huh?
Jonathan, we're getting an anomalous critical failure on your suit. Could you please confirm status?
Sorry, man.
hole 13, 930 feet, par 5. Very difficult hole. It's downhill right off the bat. We have another Mando about halfway down the fairway here that forces us to go to the right side. There's an OB line lining up the right, and we have to contend with all of these huge trees. And the basket is back here in this little corner.
I love this one.
It's
Unlike-
very challenging.
It is, but unlike the uphill par 5, I can get this one, and I
Yes.
cannot get the uphill par 5.
Yeah,
but it is very technical.
Yeah, the drive is such a position shot.
Yeah, but you still need a ton of power too. It's crazy.
I love the line that she took there.
Yeah, I like the straight under the branch line, keeping it low. Really good execution from Kristin. That's an orbit grace again. What's your line, Rebecca?
Exactly what Kristin
Yeah,
just
under.
did. I'm throwing her orbit grace on that line.
Oh, literally exactly the
Yes.
same. Fantastic. Ella clipping some branches. Great power, though. She's going to end up a little on the left side. Might have to hyzer it a bit more than Kristin will to make the mandatory and fade away from the out of bounds. You do see some women kind of take a huge anhyzer out and around the branch. Try not to mess with it too much. But I don't know. I think it just takes off too much distance.
Yeah, I have to have a lot of control with that.
You do. Whoa. Guess what Paige is throwing?
What?
Guess, dude. I'm just
Please
kidding.
don't
It's an
tell me.
ESP Zeus. It
Okay.
Wasn't that exciting?
I was like, please don't tell me it's mid-range.
Yeah, I
Don't
know.
hurt my feelings
Yeah.
like that.
I did think it was something else because I misread it. So, yeah, it's my bad. Really hyped it up for nothing.
She claimed she could read.
Mm-hmm.
She lied.
Own does make it into the beginning of the gap, it looks like.
It's a little pinched off from the Mando, I think.
Just a little bit.
Kristin's
Kristin
position is great.
So good. And she can kind of play up the right side a little bit. Looks like she catches a late tree, but she's still in a fantastic spot
Yeah.
to attack.
You can see the OB kind of opens up right there, so you can push it a little more on your upshot, just a tickle.
All right, guess this one.
Zeus?
Yeah, it's a Zeus. Good guess. Great shot.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I think that OB line scares people more than it should.
Yeah, I mean, you're correct that it does open up kind of right where it starts to
Yeah.
matter.
Because you have so much airspace to kind of just throw it high like Ella just did and trust it to come back. And then right there, you have pretty much a straight shot from the back to the
Yeah.
basket.
It's good over there, definitely. I'd rather be pushing that OB line a little bit than in these trees.
Oh, yeah, Owen's taken all the fairway space.
Uh-oh. Barely
Oh.
in, it looks like. Maybe Owen's not scared enough of the OB.
Yeah.
Kristin with
Very
maybe a
straightforward.
225-foot shot, let's say. Maybe a little bit more.
Looks like maybe a truss she's throwing.
Yeah. Definitely a stable approach just there. She skips just outside the circle.
Yeah, she might
Maybe
have
it's
fluffed it
closer
just
to
a little bit, but
maybe it's closer to 300. You get a bush now on you? Does that work?
Ella, great off shot.
There we go, Ella. Let's get some green on that scorecard. That was perfect.
Yeah, the birdie is definitely possible on this hole. You just have to be very intentional about every single shot. Can't let it get too far away from you.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's tough but fair. Paige is third. She's got that fierce in hand, looking for another bullseye hit.
Ooh. She might have been looking for a...
Maybe.
Yeah,
It did look like that,
throw in.
didn't it? Kristin for a birdie. That'd be nearly 50 feet there. A little short left. Kristin will have to settle for a par. Nice birdie from Paige. Just kind of having that birdie bogey golf.
roller coaster.
It's clean, but it doesn't, I feel like that kind of golf doesn't feel as good as maybe just getting a bunch of pars.
Yeah.
Ella with a nice tap-in birdie there. Gets herself to 2 over. Owns at 1. Paige even. Kristin 2 down.
Paige getting herself back down to par.
Sayananda leading the way through 13. She's 3 down. Hole 14 is a par 4, 520 feet. Distance-wise, one of the most reachable holes on the course. We do have a double mandatory. It is fairly friendly. Like, it's not that hard to hit, even though it's a good ways off the tee. You want to get into the open space in the middle, and then I guess there's one bigger gap that's way on the right side. If you throw kind of a turnover shot that drifts to the right off the tee, you can find it. But most ladies going to hyzer out a little bit and then just try to figure out one of the gaps. Ella maybe
Smash
trying to give herself
City.
a putt. Jeez.
Oh my goodness.
Whoa. That was that swirly S-line cloud breaker, probably 50 feet past the typical landing zone.
You don't necessarily need big distance off of this drive to get the birdie, but
it's cool though.
It makes it easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, look how cool that looks. Paige matching Ella's distance with her Zeus. Kristin with a bit of a lower line. Another orbit grace. Burns a little early, but honestly, birdie's still in play here.
Yeah, down the middle. Even if you get all the way down there, you're not guaranteed to have a great lie through those trees.
No, a lot of those gaps are very small.
Very small. It can get a little tricky, especially on the left side.
Owen gets past the first line of trees. Kristin and Owen probably at least 250 left, you think?
Yeah.
Maybe 275.
Yeah, Kristin probably in the around 300 range. Just throwing a hyzer in there.
Owen working the forehand.
Even though this basket's on the hill, I feel like just because it has so much stuff around it, like stumps and brushes and all little things, it's more like, go for it a little more.
Yeah, it usually sticks on the hill.
Yeah.
Ella, just a teeny little pitch up here. She's maybe only 100 feet away.
Nice. That's a good line to hit after kind of struggling.
Yeah,
Around.
it seems like her last 2 upshots have been a little bit more dialed. Good to see. Paige with a jump putt here for eagle.
Goodness.
Maybe it was a layup, but
Yeah.
we're still going to call it a jump putt for eagle. This is, again, one of the few that does not
Oh, yeah.
feel great to par.
Yeah.
I mean, it's acceptable. The second shot's a little tricky, but at 520 par 4, you really want to 3 this
Yeah,
one.
everyone's looking to get the birdie here.
Owen with a solid putt. Ella going to the knee. Nice.
Yeah, Ella getting a couple birdies in a row.
Yeah, a bit of a slow start. Ella cleaning it up. And our first star frame of the round. $25 donation to Edge Disc Golf.
Oh, amazing.
Uh-huh.
Let's put Kristin. Everything started.
Paige getting herself under par. Jumping into that tie for 9th. It's crazy that it goes 1st, 3rd, 9th.
Yeah.
Scores are tight.
Hole 15, 765 feet, par 5. They have that tight little gap right off the bat and a huge field after that. You really want to kind of bite off some distance if you can get through that gap clean. Here we have a basket that's almost completely surrounded by OB, and although, I mean, the upshot is reachable, it's about kind of being precise. I mean, it's hard to know what's going on up there.
Yeah. I love this hole. You can kind of do what Ella's doing. She'll probably get good distance, but you could just try to get out of the tunnel just a little bit. You can be aggressive. The second shot kind of is just whatever. But the better you throw it, obviously the easier the upshot. And then it's a true upshot. A lot of these holes out here, it's a second drive. So it's nice to kind of have, here's a technical distance drive. Here's an open distance drive. Here's a real upshot with some OB. I love it.
Yeah, Paige got kicked out a little early.
She's safe though.
She's safe, and I'm sure we'll have no problem parring at least.
It's interesting to see the forehands. I haven't seen this.
Yeah.
3 forehands. Wild. It is kind of shaped that way.
If you can trust it.
That last tree on the left on the backhand is definitely in your head as you kind of throw that turnover shot. Cool play.
Yeah, Paige is probably just looking to get to the top of that hill.
Kind of awkward downhill run up.
Yeah, she's kind of lining up sideways to make it less of a straight downhill run up.
Smart. Yeah, landing just short of that hillside makes that upshot a little bit tough. You really want to find that flat footing like Rebecca said. Paige getting the full flight, I think just shy of the flattest spot. Might have a bit of a hill, but she's pretty close.
I love the commitment here. With it being completely blind from down there, it's easy to kind of short the upshot.
Yeah,
it is
really easy to short the upshot. Kristin's going to be in a really solid spot. That one tree in the center frame that Ella's throwing to now is kind of a good distance marker. You kind of want to land just shy and left of that. Just like that.
Yeah,
good one. Ella likes it. Looks like Ella's really settling into the back 9 here. Owen's drive was huge.
Yeah,
everyone, Owen was, the furthest off the tee. Like, everyone be impressed and join the fan club that I am creating for Owen. I'm president. Rebecca, do you want to be like a
I'll be vice
VP?
President.
Great.
Oh,
man. That is honestly a bit of a good break. That stuff is pretty grabby and pretty spiky. And I wouldn't know that for any particular reason.
Yeah, it's probably like a whole, 40, 50 feet of OB. But that tall grass just snatches it.
Yeah.
Right out of the sky.
Typically. Man, these are some really great upshots. Really making the hole look too easy almost. They will probably move this one because it's so reachable.
Yeah, I like the little forehand upshot option here.
I think that's the best play.
Keep it high. If you go OB long. Oh!
Paige bounces around for her birdie. Gives the basket a little tap of appreciation. This is fantastic. 2 birdie frames in a row, it's looking like. These are 2 of the holes I was thinking of earlier when I said I think there's more birdies on the back.
Oh, yeah.
More reachable ones.
Star frame.
Love it.
Very impressive.
Up to $50 for Edge.
Oh, getting the birdie from way back, too.
Yeah, impressive. Kristin Tattar taking the solo lead with that one at 4 down. Hole 16, another par 3, 356 feet. You are teeing out of out of bounds, but it's not really a concern. There is this one final tree right in the way. Most ladies gonna throw kind of a flex or maybe just a straight pushing shot that just hyzers into the right side of that tree. I don't know, maybe Owen will throw a sidearm. You never know. This is another one of those distance separators that's a little bit tough for the middle of the field to get, but kind of, I don't want to say easy for these ladies, but definitely more of a stock shot for the elite distance players.
Yeah, I like Ella's line there, turning over something really stable and just letting it skip up towards the basket.
It's pretty. Ella's was a C-line FD3, Paige throwing an ESP Passion, much more straight fairway driver, both in a similar position.
Kristin also taking the more straight line.
Her Orbit St. Pro fades just a little bit outside the circle.
Yeah, this is another blind hole.
She did go sidearm. That's so funny. I said it as a joke. The line's there, though.
It's super there.
Owen, I think, pulls it a little bit too wide, though. I think she's even shy of circle 2. Owen pinched up against the tree, just going to lay up to about 15 feet for par. Oh, there we go.
Ooh. Huge jumper for Kristin.
Yeah. Man, you don't see her jump much either. Maybe she should jump more. That was electric.
Goodness, so smooth, committed.
And all of a sudden, 5 down. On the last, 8 holes? That's kind of crazy. Ella with the nerves coming back, just a little undercommitted.
Yeah, it almost looked like she didn't push off her foot or something. Her balance was off. She just looks uncomfortable right there.
Yeah. Paige gonna have to settle for the turkey, unable to get the 4 in a row.
Tapping in her par putt.
How did this one play, Rebecca? Are you looking at the stats?
12th most difficult.
Okay.
Oh,
Right in the middle. Nothing too crazy. Kristin Tattar a little crazy though.
Yeah. It's like
down
1
to
second
9.
she's like, oh, 1 down.
Yeah.
And you blink and
Like not that great. Oh, on fire?
Hole 17, 511 feet, par 4. We start out in the woods trying to throw out to that field. And then your upshot pretty straightforward over that long grass OB. As you can see here, there are a couple of like sand traps out there that really don't come into play unless
Something crazy happens.
something really crazy happens.
Kristin, I think, getting a little lucky on that left side. It's some pretty thick branches over there.
You're really just focused on getting your drive out of the woods.
Yeah, as long as you're anywhere out of the woods, you can attack on the second shot. I personally think that the biggest risk once you're over is if you're short on the hillside. We have seen some nasty rollaways. I think this was the Kevin Jones hole a couple years ago where he got a couple rollaways, and it's a totally different hole, but I saw it twice today. Just hit the cage, roll OB.
Everybody's
Getting out of the gap.
Get out of there.
Trimming a few branches off for tomorrow, too. Did she just like turn and walk away because she knew it was perfect?
Yeah.
That's kind of what it looked like.
You don't do that?
Pretty baller. I wish. That's why I'm just president of the fan club. Paige up first. Lays up. Yeah, short.
Didn't quite put enough on it. Yeah, that's the thing with the basket being on top of that hill. You need to throw it high.
You do, but you don't want to blast past it and then be putting at OB either. Own also
Oh.
short, it looks like.
That's the worst thing you can do is be short.
Yeah, and then you got to take it from the short side.
There is an OB green on this hole, but it's long.
Yeah.
Like way long.
See if Kristin can correct. This is definitely the better mistake to just kind of blast it past. You can't even call it a mistake. It's just a good shot.
Yeah. And it is kind of a testy putt too, but
Yeah. But again, if you hit the cage and roll down on the back side, you don't have that same OB threat.
Ella kind of taking it wide. Getting over all that stuff at least. Yeah, if you don't cross, you're also throwing from behind the grass.
Right. This is a super long par save look.
Yeah,
Most likely more of a layup.
pretty much.
Nah. Own running it. Good run, though. She stays in the bullseye. Paige laying up just outside the bullseye for a bogey. Kristin for 4 in a row.
Beautiful.
Wow.
No doubt.
To go 6 down. That's great. My head, I was thinking 5 down would be like a really stellar round. Ella with another great birdie as well. Got 4 out of the last 6 and finds herself under par now.
Yeah, she really just woke up in the back nine.
Had her coffee. Had her bagel.
Own with the bogey.
Ella moving up, tied with Paige Pierce. Own moving back.
Yeah.
Even par, only good enough for the top 20. Like, I thought even was going to be pretty good out here, but everyone kind of doing some good stuff, it looks like. Wrapping up hole 5. Just a easy 1,036-foot par 5. You're cutting across a couple of golf greens, so there are a couple sets of double mandatories. They're very wide. You're not thinking about it too much. The path that the drone flew is kind of the right side gaps of everything, and then you take kind of a maybe 30, 40 degree turn to the left, and we're at the short basket. It's kind of wrapped by OB the farther you get down. It really comes into play on the left on kind of your final 2 approach shots if you hyzer out too much. These first 2, you're just kind of ripping as far as you can. There's lots of different gaps to choose from. I doubt we'll see everyone take the same one on the second shot.
Yeah, there are a few different options. You definitely want to lean towards the left side Mandos because they have
I
the
think
most
so, too.
open gap,
Yeah.
and also it's the least amount of distance to the basket.
Sounds
but-
like you've thought about this.
I have. Because landing in the tree line can be not so good.
Yeah. Ella with a huge rip and a big dance move. That was her cloud breaker again. She throws that thing like a dream.
Paige getting way up there. She's kind of in the tree. She might have a gap towards the second.
Yeah, she might have to get a
Tree
little
line.
creative.
I was
With
just
her
tossing it and walking.
18th destroyer drive of the day. That's a real statistic. Oh, firing one off. Great power on that one. She's going to be a little left side. Solid shot. Oh, interesting gap choice.
Oh, man. That's no fun.
It's not the best. Terry may be a little concerned. Is that Terry? It looked
Yeah.
like he was in the shadows.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Ella, man, what a huge drive. She's going to get past the second mandatory tree, it looks like. Oh, on the second mandatory
man.
tree? She's safe?
I think she's right up against it, so yeah, I think
That's
she's
so
safe.
far.
But now
that's
she's
so far.
She's super pinched off unless she can bust out like a huge forehand for the birdie.
But it's far, though.
But it's far, yeah. It makes the par easier for sure.
Paige gets a good little tree kick reaction. And is she also passed that mandatory? I'm like blown away by these shots. Own throwing 3 forehands, definitely more of the par play. Just trying to keep it safe, keep it away from that left side out of bounds, take a million skips.
Yeah, and she's at the bottom of that hill, has a wide open up shot to the basket for par.
Yeah, should be pretty routine. Oh yeah, this is pretty awkward from Kristin.
She can get some pretty powerful standstill forehands, though.
Yeah, she is known for that.
She looks like she has a grace in her hand.
I think it's,
Come back.
it might be that Orbit St. Pro. I can't quite tell. She turned it over into out of bounds. Paige, man, passed everything after 2, just throwing a simple, fierce approach shot on this hole that's over 1,000 feet long. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
At her 3rd shot on 1,000-foot holes of putter.
Goodness.
Just marinating that for a moment. Oh, Ella. Is that a forehand?
That was a forehand.
I just saw her jump out from behind the tree.
Yeah.
I didn't see the line.
Well, she did the thing I said
Sweet
she could do.
shot. You
Wow.
did. You did call it. You didn't call the little jump, though.
I didn't. Kristin with the straight up forehand up shot.
Yeah, she's going to pitch up her harp. And
Yeah.
unfortunate bogey after such a strong back 9, but a very good showing for Kristin, especially after, you know, slacking the last month.
Paige with the birdie look.
What a great way to finish. Paige getting a 2 down. Paige finding some bogeys, but lighting up the back 9 pretty solid. I think she'll clean it up tomorrow. And dang, Ella
Just a bit short.
was over par for the majority of the front 9, so it's good to see her get under at least.
Yeah, to be 2 over after 10 holes and get back down under par, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, solid recovery for sure. Owen gonna finish even par on the day.
Paige with the only birdie on hole 18.
Nice. Such an easy. I mean, the putt was good. She like left that putter up shot a little bit short, but I'm just so blown away after 2 shots. She was so far.
Oh, man. Wow, what a showing.
Looks like Kristin Tattar in solo first. All those birdies on the back 9. Hot round, fire emoji. Joining her is going to be Sayananda and Hannah Wynn with 4 downs. And Missy Gannon with a 3 down. Got a handful at 2 and 1. Looks
So
like,
many ties.
yeah, you got to be under par to be in the top 10 or so. Yeah, it's pretty tight.
Tomorrow might be more of a score separator, but based on today, who knows?
Yeah, I think it's similar conditions, maybe a little warmer. We'll see about the wind. I think we'll probably see a little bit more separation as we kind of dial in
Everyone's
this new
got a
course.
round in. Everyone's
We're feeling it.
Yeah.
We're vibing. Well, thank you all for joining us on the feature card. We have so much more golf. Lots of long, beautiful shots out here at Portland. Thanks for joining us, Rebecca.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah. Love it. Thanks to the Founders Club. And we'll see you in round 2. I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
And I'm Rebecca Cox.